What's good, collective? How is everybody doing? Thank you so much for tapping into Midheaven Tarot. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back, Soul Tribe. If this is your first time stopping in to visit us here at Midheaven Tarot, welcome to all new viewers. All right, we're going to get into some collective energies. I want to know what is the lesson that Spirit is trying to teach the collective at this very moment. What lesson is Spirit trying to teach the collective at this very moment? As always, please take the meat, throw away the bones. Okay, every aspect of this reading may not resonate with you, and that is perfectly okay. That is perfectly okay, okay? Don't try to make it fit. What lesson is Spirit trying to teach the collective at this moment? I'm going to split this deck because I do have relatively big hands, but that's a lot of cards. Okay. What lesson is Spirit trying to teach the collective at this moment? Come through, Spirit team. Speak expressively. Give me clarity. What lesson is Spirit trying to teach the collective at this moment? We have grief. We have grief. Okay. Grief. We have caching, which is talking about hiding something for future use. Well, this is going to be a good reading. This is going to be a good reading. We have wrath. Try to make sure y'all can see that. Give myself a little space here. I want to get one more card and then we'll clarify. We have sacred lust. Let me move this deck. Sacred lust. Okay. So there could be something that you're either experiencing right now or that you have recently experienced that have caused you a lot of grief and you're hiding it. And you're hiding it to the point to where it may be kind of sitting in your spirit and causing a lot of displeasure, a lot of bitterness, a lot of anger, even possibly. Okay. Now, sacred wrath is a very powerful thing when you look at wrath from a sacred standpoint. It is anger that you use to bring about change. Okay. When you are dealing with sacred wrath, okay, which some of you may be, it is bringing about a change, a desired outcome, which could be clarifying the sacred lust. All right. Sacred lust is different than lust. Lust is desire for desire's sake. It's lust can be wanting something that may not even be in your best interest, but when it is sacred lust, it is desiring something that is always going to put you in, your highest frequency. Your best interest is always going to be at heart when you're dealing with sacred lust. So this could be something that you feel a little wrathful towards, but this could also be sacred wrath. Okay. Sacred wrath is not destruction for destruction's sake. It's not just destroying because you're pissed. It's systematically, strategically bringing down what no longer serves you so you can get to the things that do, the things that you really want, right? So let's look at this. Clarify grief, please. And all of this starts, even sacred wrath, sacred lust, it kind of kicks off with grief. When we go through things that kind of put us in a balance, when we go through situations that put us in grief, when we go through traumatic experiences, and we have to bring balance to that grief. So somebody in the collective is bringing balance to something that has been grieving them. This could be childhood wounds. This could be a recent failed relationship. This could be karmic patterns, in any aspect of your life. You're bringing balance to it. Balance is going to come out of what has been grieving you. Clarify, caching, hiding something away for future use. So the lesson could be going like right now, waterproof. Waterproof. Somebody is hiding their emotions. So the lesson that the spirit wants the collective to learn right now, it could be a lesson surrounding the fact that you are hiding what you feel. And if you want to bring balance to this grief, then you would have to take that grief and move into sacred wrath. Again, sacred wrath is when something is not right and you use your passion to bring about a change. When you see something is not just and you bring your passion to it to bring about a change. So the lesson could be that to balance this grief, you will need to stop hiding how you feel. You will need to stop hiding from the world and from yourself that something has actually penetrated you, that you are actually upset about something, that you are bothered. It's giving me that some of you may be trying to put on the facade of being impenetrable. Like nothing gets to me. I'm good. I got it. I'm all right. You know what I mean? The lesson could be that your emotions are a tool and you don't have to hide that. And if you're going to bring balance to what is disturbing you or grieving you, then hiding behind impenetrability is not actually working in your favor. Acting like you cool and you don't care how they did and what they did, and I'm gonna be all right and I'm gonna just make it. I mean, it's okay to know that you're just gonna be okay and you're gonna make it, but not to the point that you use that sentiment as a disguise and a mask, as if you don't have any feelings and you're not hurting and you're not bothered, right? Clarify wrath. Memory. Because when you get to yourself, you pissed off about it. When you get to yourself and you think about what has been done to you or what has been said to you or how you were treated, you're absolutely pissed off about it. And you probably have every right to be, but then you put on a facade that you're okay and you're not bothered. And that's keeping you in a spirit of just wrath for wrath's sake. Just like wrath. Not sacred wrath, but wrath. In order for you to take what's angering you or what's putting you in the spirit of wrath and move it into sacred wrath, you have to be willing to use that energy, harness that energy, alchemize that energy, and utilize it to bring about the change you want to see. Other than that, it's just pissed off for being pissed off sake. You're not using it. And every emotion you have can be utilized. Every one of them. If you know how to alchemize the energies and use it to bring about the desired outcome and not the undesired outcome. See, when you just let wrath fester, then you end up messing up good relationships. You end up treating everybody like they're all the same. You end up shunning away people who love you, shunning away new opportunities, shunning away new beginnings. When you just let wrath sit there and you don't use it, then it begins to bring about the exact opposite of what you want. But when you use it, when you say, I am pissed off and I am hurt and I am bothered and I don't like that and that was an injustice, when you see it for what it is and not put on the facade of being unbothered, you don't have to put on the facade of being waterproof, like you don't have any feelings and you don't have any emotions about the situation, whatever it is. When you do that, and you utilize exactly how it made you feel, then that is how you take and alchemize lessons to move you forward in life, to move you forward in your spiritual evolution. Clarify sacred lust. Sacred lust, please. Thank you. Influence. Mm. See, and that's exactly what I'm saying. You taking what you've gone through and you've experienced, whether it be traumas, whether it be injustices, whether it be misjudgments, abandonment, rejection, anything of the sort that has caused you grief, how you bring balance to it is to not hide it, is to feel it, is to embrace how it felt, embrace how it feels. Okay? And if it angers you, that is a sign. See, when I see this memory card and how, like, you see how, like, the orange spaces are highlighted, you have everything. These people are gray and he's gray and the buildings are gray. But then you have these orange spots that are kind of highlighted, that are kind of lit up. That gives me energy of being triggered. Your anger is a sign and a reflection to you from your spirit team that you are absolutely bothered by whatever it is that happened to you, whatever it is that you've experienced, whatever it is that brought you grief. Now, how you balance that is to utilize it to influence your sacred lust, meaning what is it that you are desiring from a sacred standpoint that is sacred to you? What is it that you want out of your life? What is it that you want out of your relationships? What is it that you want out of your career? You utilize all of this here to influence what it is you want, right? Like, that could be the lesson that some of you may resonate with, that spirit wants you to learn right now, that you don't have to walk around as if you don't have feelings, because when we do that, it's because we are feeling vulnerable, and we view vulnerability as weakness. And we feel like when we show our vulnerabilities, people will know how to continue to pick us apart. And so we pretend like we don't have any feelings, so people won't feel like they can pick us apart. So we don't have to actually acknowledge the influence that other people in our relationships can have on us, in good ways and in bad ways. But when you learn how to use both the good and the bad, to influence your sacredness, I'm going to say that again, because we harp on the good all the time, but we don't want to use the bad. We see the bad as just bad, and we don't know what to do with the bad. I'm telling you through spirit what to do with the bad. With the bad, you have to do the same thing that you do with the good. You have to use it all to influence what is sacred to you, what you are passionate about, what you desire, what you want. You use it all. And this is what moves you into the frequency of being an alchemist. And it also removes the power that other people have at putting us in this grief cycle and just spinning us around in grief. It removes and strips other people's power and influence over your life, because it doesn't matter how you show up. However you show up, I'm going to use it for my benefit. And so the lesson could be right now for the collective is to, again, to bring balance to your grief. You're going to have to kind of like avoid hiding your emotions. Unlearn hiding your emotions. Okay? Unlearn that. How you feel is valid. How you feel is your responsibility, and it is your right, and it is your privilege. Nobody has to understand it. Nobody has to agree. Nobody has to freaking like it. And you don't have to expect at all for people to like it, to agree with you, to understand you. You shouldn't expect that. The expectation that you have of people to understand you is what's causing you grief. When you stop expecting people to understand you and start standing in your own power, it no longer matters whether they understand me. My feelings are my own. How I feel about a situation is my own. How you respond to it is yours. Okay? How you respond to it is yours. As long as I'm not out here using my emotions to cause other people direct harm, I have every right to show up as I am. You understand? And a lot of times you will do that in a way that most people who are receiving from you should be okay with, but because they have their own insecurities and their own, stuff, and we all get caught in this cycle of hiding how we really feel, then they will start to resent you because you know how to express yourself. And that's their problem too. You feel me? That's their problem too. Let's look at something. Let's look at this a little more. Clarify grief and balance spirit. Grief and balance. Reverse Queen of Pentacles. Reverse Five of Pentacles. It's giving me that with this reverse Queen of Pentacles, what I'm getting is that you may need to release something. You need to release something. Whether this is through self-care, whether this is through therapeutic measures, whether this is through laying and punching the pillows and crying and stretching and having somatic releases. I don't know how this is, but this is giving that you need to release something. Stop nurturing something. Let something go. Because this Five of Pentacles is talking about avoiding conflict, making peace with something. So the peace comes in when you stop holding on to something and nurturing something that is no longer serving you. To bring peace to this conflict, this inner conflict, because grief is an inner process. It's an inner process. So there may need to be some root chakra, sacral chakra, or solar plexus cleansing. Something in those chakras, in that part of your chakra system, you need to release. I mean, and you can do that in whatever way fits your personality, fits your life, fits the things that you are interested in. You know? But releasing whatever there is that you may be nurturing, that grief that is there will bring balance and harmony to something that's been a conflict. Clarify, caching, and waterproof, please. Strength. Yeah, because see, you're really sitting in the strength of yourself. You're really sitting in the strength of yourself. Give me one more. Like you have everything under control. Everything's under control. Magician. So you may be using strength as a form of manipulation. Okay, the perception of strength to manipulate desired outcomes. You may be thinking that being strong through something is how you're going to kind of get what you want out of the situation. But what I'm hearing Spirit say is that they need you to be strong in surrendering. Is a difference in being strong in holding something and strong in surrendering it, letting it go. And again, this is all within. This is about this is about sensory release. This is about releasing the chakras, removing the blockages. You understand? So you appearing very strong on the outward, like you have all of the resources that you need. You're okay. You're not bothered. You're gonna be okay. Magic will fix it. I'll light a candle. I'll do this. I'll do that. If you're into those kind of things, but what spirit is really needing you to learn, that releasing it is what is going to bring you peace to this conflict. And that may be the lesson. That may be the lesson for some of you all. Okay, that you might not quite be learning or haven't mastered yet. Clarify wrath and memory. Three of Swords. See, because you're hurt. You're hurting. And there's nothing wrong with that. Do you understand? Listen, we have to be realistic about the things that we experience while we are in this dimension. Yes, we are divine. Yes, we are powerful. Yes, we have extraterrestrial origins for some of us. And, we get caught up in all of these things, and we got dragon spirits and animal spirits and all these instinctual spirits, but you are also human. And you being in a predicament or experiencing some sort of heartache is a reality. But something within is still hurting. You may even be dealing with a little bit of a broken heart right now. And I say that loosely, right? Just clichédly, but you have something in your heart chakra is still causing you a lot of grief. And we know that the heart chakra and the root chakra and the solar plexus and the sacral chakra are very connected. I mean, all the chakras are connected. They're not separated, right? So we're looking at the heart space here. And there's a release that needs to take place in your lower dimensions, your lower 3 dimensions. Tell me more. 3 of Swords. King of Wands. So what I'm hearing Spirit say is that you're not utilizing you may not be utilizing what you are actually feeling. Like you're not utilizing it. And the more we evolve spiritually, the more we begin to learn that everything has its pros and cons. Our divinity comes in because we have the choice of which one we're going to let the situation be. Right? You have a choice. Are you going to let that failed relationship be a pro or a con to you? Are you going to let your childhood traumas be a pro or a con to you? An asset or a liability. This is what spiritual growth and maturation is about. Realizing that yes, my pain is a reality, but my willpower is also a reality. Okay? Because I have the choice to choose how I'm going to utilize my experiences in this physical dimension. I have the choice of how I'm going to project and how I'm going to alchemize and subsequently utilize them to bring me to my greater good. Or am I just going to sit in the rejection? Am I going to sit in the abandonment? Am I going to sit in the physical abuse, the disappointment? Do I just sit there? Or do I just let it sit there, suppress it, and then put on a mask that I got it all together, that I'm strong, I can take it, I can take anything. When you put your emotions in the facade, it's like putting water in a container. Eventually, the container can no longer hold any more water. Okay. And then you either get a breakage of the container itself and a complete overflow, or you get a systematic slow overflow of those emotions spilling over in an untamed way. You don't want to contain your emotions. That's how you end up, again, affecting your life and the people around you and your environment in a way that you may not intend to, because you're holding everything in, thinking that the right thing to do is just to save face and appear to have it all together, when deep down inside you have a lot of emotions about a lot of things. And so the lesson is, Spirit wants you to start releasing it, whether it be privately, whether it be through a conversation with your loved ones. I'm not talking about releasing it in a way where somebody ends up in the hospital or jail. See, that's what wrath does. But sacred wrath doesn't do that. Sacred wrath releases it in a way that brings about more healing and a more positive change. Clarify sacred lust and influence. Two of Pentacles. This is going to help you be able to really bring balance to the spiritual and the earth energy of you. Because when I see the Two of Pentacles, that's what I think. I think that this is about balancing your spiritual, your higher self, and your lower self, your light and your darkness. This is about being able to balance. This is what makes you an alchemist. We have the Four of Cups. This is the balance that is being afforded to you, and the lesson that is being confirmed in this message that you may not be seeing, because you are focusing on these Three of Cups. These Three of Cups, and the Spirit is trying to show you a better way, a new way, a higher way. These three cups represent earth energy. This one cup represents spirit. It's the same energy. Higher self, lower self, and the harmony between those two selves. And you can't be ignoring one part of you and expecting to be able to, really tap into the higher self, because they're so directly connected. They're so directly connected. Your physical and your spiritual are in like a holy matrimony. They cannot be severed, right? They're tethered together. And so we spend so much of our time trying to ignore our lower self. And then we're given through various methods this illusion of just skipping everything that is lower and jumping right into the higher self, and that is not the way that goes. Okay, so the spiritual lesson here that Spirit wants us to learn right now is that we do not have to pretend to have all the answers. We do not have to pretend and hide behind magic. Okay, people are using magic and spell casting and all kind of things. Manipulation of matter is not the end all be all. The greatest magic you can ever do is the magic within you. Within you. Going towards healing. Okay, making progress. See the light and the dark. This is how you make progress, when you have both aspects of you in a state of calmness. This is the gift. This is the giving and the receiving. The lesson. Where you want me to go, Spirit? Anything else? Anything else? Okay, collective, I think that is going to be the end of this message. I hope that something was said to further enlighten you and strengthen you and confirm for you that this is the message that Spirit wants you to have at this very moment. Thank you so much for tapping in. If you have not taken the time to subscribe, please subscribe. We're greatly appreciated and love to have you here. On Midheaven Tarot. Thank you to all of my returning subscribers. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, let me know how this resonated with you, and turn on your notification bell so you know when I am back with another message. And I'll see you guys in the next one, all right? Peace, family.